nothing new. Yes, you can hurt me, but you're not the only one. No, you're not the only one. There's nothing that you can do that hasn't already been done. Created the game, you made the rules. I played my part, but I refuse to stay the fool. You can break my heart, but you can't break me. I'm rising up, I'm reaching out, I'm soaring free. I'm soaring free. I am the phoenix, rising up from flame and ashes. I will rebuild the world, but everyone is precious. You have the matches, you have the flame. You can light this world on fire, then I will rise again. I am the phoenix, watch me rise again. Build your brand, don't make it blend. Take the first step, show them why you're brand. You've got a vision great, you've got a mission first rate. It's time to communicate, it's time to relate. Build your brand, don't make it blend. Take the first step, show them why you're brand. Your brand isn't a logo or a color scheme, no, no. It's not a slogan, you know, a trademark or copyright, oh, oh, oh. Build your brand, don't make it blend. Take the first step, show them why you're brand. Your brand is everything people say when they're talking about you. Reputation is king when it comes to branding. Build your brand, don't make it blend. Take the first step, show them why you're brand. Your brand begins with you, everything you say and do. Sharing your heart is true, will bring customers to you. Build your brand, don't make it blend. Take a first step, show them why you're brand. How do we spell heart? Your humanity builds empathy, gives authenticity. Your relatable story shows you're trustworthy, that shows your heart. Build your brand, don't make it blend. Take the first step, show them why you're brand. Have the courage to be real, don't let your fears steal. The power of your view, honesty is the bestie. Build your brand, don't make it blend. Take the first step, show them why you're brand. And you show your heart, that's when loyalty starts. It will set your brand apart, no one can replace your heart. Feels like I'm living in a country song. Everything in life going wrong. Been down poverty. I finally made it out and broken free. Now a pile of debts are staring back at me. Try paying with IOUs from friends and family. Feels like I'm living in a country song, with everything in life going wrong. Been down and out for far too long. Feels like I'm living in a country song. I'm losing my home, family's moving soon. I've got 3 weeks till the 1st of June. No idea where I'm gonna find a saloon. Credit's trash, the bill collector's suing. Feels like I'm living in a country song. Everything in life going wrong. Been down and out for far too long. Feels like I'm living in a country song. Looks like every door's closing in my face. I'm a one-legged man in a butt-kicking race. Lord, I could use some grace. It's gonna take a miracle to find a place. It's gonna take a miracle to find a place. Feels like I'm living in a country song, with everything in life going wrong. And down and out for far too long. Feels like I'm living in a country song. I know when destruction comes our way, it's clearing out what doesn't need to stay. There's always a receiving when we pray. But the Lord, I just got to say, feels like I'm living in a country song, with everything in life going wrong. And down and out for far too long. Feels like I'm living in a country song. Lord, if this is you preparing ground, please show me there's hope to be found. I'm praying someday my life will rebound. Until then, keep me safe and sound. Feels like I'm living in a country song.
Let me get my mic going and the music down. Woo! We'll get back to writing and chatting. That's where we started with week 1. Wow. We started back. It's been over a month of doing writing and chatting every week. Nice! So, I'm going to start off the stream by reading from the last chapter we wrote, and then we will move forward in our plans. Just to recap you where we're at and get back to basics. And hi, Jesse and Ubi and Timothy. So glad to see everybody. Hope your week. Well, I know Timothy, you've kind of had a bit of a rough week, so hopefully things are going to get better for you. But this has actually been a pretty good week for Ubi and I. Overall, some rough things have happened to family members and friends, but overall it's been a good week. Chapter 5, The Treetop View. Mortus somehow managed to keep hold of the rosary as he rotated in air before finding himself deposited high off the ground in the top of a tree as the tornado went on its merry way. Great! Now what? Mortus peered down. There had to be a minimum of 20 feet between him and the ground below. No chance he was going to jump down. Spin, however, seemed quite happy with where they were. He detached his stranglehold on Mortus and climbed out onto a branch nearby. A few hundred swear words came to mind as Mortus struggled to keep his grip. The winds were calmer but not still, and the swaying was making him feel a bit queasy. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and then studied the branches beneath him more closely. It wouldn't be easy, but he could, with a lot of work, get down a branch at a time. Painstaking step by painstaking step, he managed to make the climb down. Spin followed him, chittering as if in encouragement. Then came the hard part. The very last branch seemed to be about 5 feet off the ground. Not a great height, but not an easy jump either. Still, there was no hope for it. If he wanted out of the tree, and he assuredly did, he was going to have to jump for it. He leapt down and felt the toes on his left foot bend in ways they weren't meant to. He knew, even without looking, he'd broken something. Pain radiated from the point where his toes connected to his foot. "I'd complain, but I'm alive," he told Spin, "and I wasn't sure I was gonna be." The walk back to the motel was slow and agonizing. He didn't have enough power in his phone to call anyone. He was tempted to ask how much worse this date could get, but remembering his early experiences, decided not to. Never ask questions which you don't want answered, he reminded himself. The debris field from where the tornado swept through was, to say the least, impressive. The train station was intact, but the stage and the cars in the parking lot were tipped on their sides and flung over as if a giant toddler came through the room. He hoped his motel was still standing. He really did not want to think about trying to find another, and he was all out of money to call for another rideshare. Besides, his guitar, his J-rig, and his new equipment were all back there. A walk that should have taken 15 minutes took him an hour as he limped along. He made his way inside the doors and found the lobby deserted. He reached forward to ring the bell, and the attendant popped its head over the counter. "You look like heck," it announced to him. "We're still assessing damages, and the computer's down right now. But I can get you a room if you'd like." Mortus sighed with relief. "Yes, please." He could feel his foot swelling in his boot and prepared himself for a highly uncomfortable night. It took another 30 minutes before he got his room key. "Fortunately, we still have these old-fashioned keys," the attendant said. "If we'd installed the new keyless locks, you'd have had to wait until the computers came back online to check in." "Glad you didn't switch the maid." Easy for me to say. "Glad you didn't get the switch made," he said, collecting his gear and making his way down the long hallway. "For once I'm glad, too," the attendant said. "It's a pain ordinarily, but it'll make sure I can keep doing my job for now." When he got into his room, the first thing he did was fish out his wall charger and plug in his phone. He sat on the bed and attempted to ease his boot off his foot so he could inspect the damage. The boot wouldn't budge. His foot was too swollen. Fantastic. He decided to use the downtime while waiting for the phone to charge to pull out his guitar and record some footage. No need to miss out on the opportunities of the moment. Besides, the music might just take his mind off the foot. He assembled the portable guitar and locked the frame in place in a matter of minutes. Getting the J-rig set up was a matter of pushing the power button, logging into the motel's free wireless, and hitting play. Before he knew it, he was recording a few licks. He was grateful his interface didn't make a lot of noise. He didn't want to disturb his neighbors. As he finished up his playthrough, he heard a sound that let him know his phone was finished charging. He thought about calling an ambulance. He thought about trying again to pull off his boot and tape up those toes himself. In the end, he settled on doing neither. He placed a call to Mike. "Dude, you're never going to believe what's happened to me," he started. Mike listened in silence. "You've got to be kidding me." "Wish I was, dude. I wish I was," Mortus said. Mike sighed. "Let me order you some pizza and some beer. I'll send over your doc and wait and have him look at your foot. I'll put 20 on your account. You can watch some pay-per-view while you wait." Mortus liked the sound of that. "Dude, you just made my day. Only one question. Can you send over some bananas for the monkey?" Mike chuckled. "Yeah, I think I can scrounge up some monkey food. You sure he wouldn't eat pizza and beer?" Mortus shook his head. "He might, but it wouldn't be good for either of us if he did. Don't ask me how I know." Mike snorted. "Save that story for another time. We've still got a mission to finish." Mortus groaned. "Don't I know it? Any updates on Hawkeye's location?" Mike's tone shifted. "No, the chatter's gone quiet." Mortus leaned back and closed his eyes. A notification on his phone, which I apparently misspelled, thank you, told him that Mike's $20 arrived, so he pulled out the remote and searched for something to watch. He ended up settling on Die Hard, followed by more traditional holiday specials like Peanuts, Garfield, and his personal favorite, the claymation Rudolph. Pizza and beer arrived in the middle of Die Hard. The doctor arrived just as he was starting Peanuts. Dude! You're him! The doctor said, eyes wide as Mortus opened the door. Yeah? I'm who? Mortus asked, confused. You're Mortus, the mad musician! I watch your YouTube channel all the time! I'm Dr. Demented, the man said, sticking his hand out. I'm a big fan! Mortus grinned and shook the man's hand in return. You're one of a handful. Glad to meet you, though. Come on in, he said, stepping to let the man in. Yeah, I hear you've got some problems with your foot, the doctor said as Mortus dropped onto the bed. Yep, foot's too swollen for me to get my boot off right now, but I think I broke some toes jumping out of the tree, he told the doctor. What were you doing in the tree? The man looked at him with a puzzled expression on his face. Funny story, that. I was going to save it for my next stream, but what the heck, he said as he grabbed a beer. The doctor pulled out a pocket knife and set to work freeing Mortus's foot from the confines of the boot. The toes were purple and fat as sausages. You did quite a number on 'em. Wiggle 'em for me, would you? Mortus stared at his foot and wiggled the tools. It hurt, but he was able to do it. Guess they aren't broken, then? The doctor shook his head. Nah, you being able to wiggle 'em just means there's no nerve damage. I'll be back with my portable x-ray so we can see the extent of the damage here in about 10 minutes. Portable x-ray, huh? Mortus mused. I didn't even know those were a thing. You'd be amazed at what you can get your hands on when the military's bankrolling your operation, the doctor said with a grin. All right, that's where we are, folks. So, now we begin the work of deciding what's next. You know, it's time we did a brief check-in with where we are in terms of plot. That's kind of the first point we've got. So here's what Mortus has got, right? He's got a big problem. Locate and free Hawkeye. He's so far checkpoint 1, got himself to Tennessee. Checkpoint 2, get to the investigation point, starting point at Mammoth. I think it was Mammoth Mountain. I think we had that in chapter 3. So let's look. Nashville, Tennessee, Mammoth Caves. That's what it is. See, my memory's not too bad. All right. You see. Gotcha. And then that's in the checkpoint 3. Find Hawkeye. Checkpoint 4. Create plan to free Hawkeye. Based on intel. Checkpoint 5. Get Hawkeye free. Checkpoint 6. Return Hawkeye home. Checkpoint 7. Notify Mike the job is done. So those are all the things that he has to do in order for the big plot that we've created to actually be complete. And it gives us room because while he's in the middle of checkpoint 3, 4, and 5, we can find out why Hawkeye was upset with him, why somebody told him that he was mad at him, and whether Hawkeye was upset with him at all. Maybe Hawkeye wasn't even upset. Maybe that was a ruse. Maybe the person who said that he was upset with him was actually in on this. So there's all kinds of things we get to play around with. But the first part we've got to get done with is him having his toes taken care of and then getting to the investigation starting point at Mammoth Cave. And in the meanwhile, okay, so in between this point, checkpoint 2 and checkpoint 3, he needs to think of a plan that is likely to get him past, give him an excuse to be there in the caves without exploring, without setting off suspicions of the potential kidnappers. Okay? So, and I've been thinking about that myself. What is he going to do? Because, you know, I hate it sometimes when it doesn't format correctly. But anyway, that's where we are right now. And that's what he's got to do in this chapter. He's got to think of a plan that gets him to the caves, allows him to explore, and doesn't set off the suspicions of the potential kidnappers so he has the chance to find Hawkeye. So here's where we're at. And I'm thinking the fact that he's a streamer is the perfect excuse that he needs. Yeah. He can always say that he is scouting locations for his next, unusual locations for his next stream. And he's going to probably end up being on crutches, so that actually adds to his credibility as being just a kind of a tourist. So. So that's what he's going to do. All right. And here's some interactive choices that we get to make. It's never fun if the hero just gets to straightforward do things without having any obstacles. So we get some choices in what he can potentially have happen. Oh, you know what stinks? I need to restart my chat because there are options I don't get when I'm apparently you, Ubi, which I didn't even think about. Ah, all right. Anyway, I'm going to put some options in the chat and you guys let me know. I can't do a poll like I usually would because I'm apparently Ubi as far as the chat's concerned and I don't know how to change that. So let's see. Let's go back in time and see what other things could pop up on our potential things going a little bit sideways. Let's remind ourselves of who our characters are and what could happen. Let's see. There we go. There's Lauren. I was going to have her have such a nice little story, but it doesn't fit right now. So Lauren Sands is a friend of Hawkeye's that was going to check on him. So we could have her, a phone call from her. Yeah. let's see. Mortus decides to do an impromptu stream. There we go. There are 3 potential things that could happen while he's working on concocting this little plan of his. Pick one option. Let me know what we roll with. You're right, Timothy. That would be good cover. Doing an impromptu stream. Yeah. Yes, while listening to Ubi play Firewoman. Actually, maybe Mortis plays Firewoman. Hey, I get it. If you can't laugh, you know, that's when life is really bad. But as long as you can laugh, you can get through anything. And I've been ornery since the day I was born, so don't feel bad, Timothy. When I was just a little bit over a year old, well, actually, right around a year old, my parents took me to visit my grandparents in Mississippi, where my cousin Jeffrey, who was 2 weeks older than I was, lived. And I had been walking, but I would not let go. I had to have a finger on all of the furniture. And then I saw my cousin Jeffrey walking. Like I said, he was 2 weeks older than I was. I saw my cousin walking, and that was it. That was all the finger was done. I was free. I was going to walk everywhere and anywhere. And then they decided to put me in a in a porter crib with my cousin Jeffrey to keep me out of trouble. And in return, my Christmas present to my cousin Jeffrey, in return for his gift of liberating me from the need to have finger on the furniture, was to promptly figure out how to break loose of the playpen and teach him to do likewise. They were never able to hold him in again. So that's how ornery I was, always from the beginning. Ooh, wow, you took a small chunk out of your left thumb with a chef knife? Yikes! Wow, seriously, Timothy. Gracious. Trying to take chunks of yourself at a time, huh? Busy all this week. Yeah, too much scotch. Is there such a thing? No, just kidding. Hi, Malachi. No worries, no worries. Get your housekeeping done. I get that. Well, thank you, Malachi. I appreciate you showing up, and I definitely appreciate you letting me know um, that you're not going to be able to participate. Really, you're just there, and I appreciate you being here, even if you can't participate. Alright. So we're making a little bit of progress. There we go. Now he's gonna stream. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. The Mad Musicians. Oh, let's see. Yay! We are coming in close to the end. Let's see. Stream ended. Okay, cool story. There we are. We'll read this out. Dr. Demented returned with the portable x-ray just as Mortus was washing a few pain pills down with some beer. It didn't take long for the results to come either. Yep, you broke 4 of them. Everything on your left foot except your big toe. That's something, Mortus grumbled. Spin seemed fascinated by the x-ray machine and crept toward it, chittering. Mortus scooped him up and put him on his shoulder. That's not for you, little guy. That thing'll scramble your brains for sure. Dr. Minted grins at Spin. Yep, your hair will fall out and you'll be a bald monkey. Spin wrapped his tail around Mortus's neck and chittered at the doctor as if scolding him. The doctor didn't seem bothered by that in the least. I agree, little man, you wouldn't look good bald. So what's there to do about the toes? Mortus asked. My understanding is you don't have a lot of time to hang out at the motel as you're on a mission. Given that, we're going to splint and tape them. That'll allow you to move about without too much difficulty. I'll also give you some crutches you can use just in case, he explained. Mortis frowned. I'm not thrilled about that idea, he sighed. The crutches, I mean. Dr. Demented winked. All the better for helping you blend in with the crowds. Nobody's gonna take a guy on crutches seriously, are they? Mortis chuckled. Yeah, not exactly gonna spook anyone looking decrepit. He wondered how exactly he was supposed to crate around the guns he'd been given and his other supplies while hobbling about on crutches. Things were certainly not going according to any kind of plan that he could see. It was time to think up another plan, one that worked with his current situation rather than against it. The man finished up his taping job and Mortis turned off the TV. The one thing he did that always helped him think up new ideas was to stream. And once Dr. Demented left, that's exactly what he planned on doing. An idea struck him as he watched the doctor cleaning up his supplies. You got another call to get to after this? Dr. Demented shook his head. Nope, yours was the last call of the evening for me. I'm off work. Care to be a special guest on a live stream? Mortis asked the man. Dr. Demented's eyes widened. You serious? That would be too awesome. Mortis nodded. I'm serious. Give me about 5 minutes to set up and you and I can go live right here. Dr. Demented looked around the room confused. But you don't have any equipment. No amps, no pedals, nothing. Mortis grinned and pointed to the laptop. That's my amp and my pedals. And any pedals I need. It's my J-rig. He then pointed to the portable guitar. That's a little guitar I built to fold up and take with me on jobs like these. Pretty cool, huh? Dr. Demented nodded. That's awesome. Can't wait to do this. 5 minutes later, Mortis was live with Dr. Demented sitting on the bed beside him and Sven perched on his shoulder like some kind of furry parrot. He watched his friends file into the chat room and let the music play as the countdown timer began. Welcome to the Mad Musicians off-hour stream with special guest here, Dr. Demented, he said as he potted down the music and pressed the mic's button to talk. We're streaming live from Nashville, Tennessee. I'm marked safe from the tornado that hit here a few hours ago, but sadly, he said, sticking his taped toes toward the camera, got a few busted toes for my effort. Which, he said to his fans, the good doctor was kind enough to tape up for me. How are y'all doing tonight? The chat was buzzing that night, and the music sounded great. Everyone loved listening to Dr. Demented and Mortis share the story of getting to Nashville, checking in, and being blown away, literally, by the atmosphere of the area. The sound came through perfectly, and the portable guitar played like a dream. Plus, a few of the rockers tipped $50, which gave Mortis a bit of much-needed pocket money. He was grateful to them for all the contributions and promised to buy more pizza and beer when he got back home. The stream ended and Mortis got another idea. Hey, Dr. Demented, one question for you. Dr. Demented turned to him. Ask away. Can I get a ride to Mammoth Caves in the morning, he asked. His eyebrows rose and he gave Mortis a thumbs up. You doing the touristy thing, eh? I thought you were on a mission. Let's see, Mortis chuckled. The mission starts in Mammoth Caves, but you've given me some ideas about what I can do to blend in and get through without drawing unwanted attention. Dr. Demented tilted his head. Oh, what's that? Mortis gestured toward the J-rig. I'm a traveling streamer looking for the perfect spot to demonstrate the capacity of my system and to fill some marketing footage I can use for promotions. I doubt anyone who looks at me, the systems, and the foot is going to doubt me. Dr. Demented nodded. I can see that. Yeah, I can get you there. We'll need to leave early, though. I got to be at the office by 9 a.m. to file a report. Mortis gave him a thumbs up. I'll be ready, mate. I'll be ready, my man. I'll be ready. Okay. So that closes that chapter, which is good. We've now got a reason and a method of transportation to get him and his stuff to Mammoth Cave so that he can actually start his mission of rescuing Hawkeye. It only took us 6 chapters to get there. Yay! So now we've got him on the road to where he needs to be. The question is, what are we going to let to happen in the next chapter? Is it going to be smooth sailing? It never is. Or is something going to derail him again? So that's our question, which we will be tackling in the next stream. I am going to end just a teeny tiny touch early today. I have anything that you guys want to promote or anything you guys want to mention is coming up for you. I haven't been doing this, but it's a good idea. So pop it in the chat if you got something for us to watch or participate with you. I do have something to show you guys though. You guys, because you are my diehard #1 fans that show up every time for me, I'm going to, let's see, get back in here. Whoops. And let's see if I can. Webcam, that's the one I want. I'm going to turn off the display. Boop. There I am. I'm going to show you guys something. I've been working on, I don't know if you've noticed, the Groat. And woo! Now the headstock has its art. And the fretboard also has its art. And then the next thing to come up, of course, is the body of the Groat. And then that nefariously broken pick guard. And then Ubi's going to help me assemble the whole thing. And we're going to get going with that. So that's exciting. But yeah, so if you guys have got anything you want to talk about, anything you want to, any ideas you want to pop out for next chapter, things you want to think that we should do before we get back. Let's see. Yeah. There we go. I have been seen on camera. Yeah, the frets do need polish, but yeah. That's the artwork. Now, the wrapping paper that I ordered, not wrapping paper, wallpaper that I ordered wasn't to scale. I don't know if you saw the video or not, which was a disappointment. But because I'd ordered the black wallpaper, I was able to paint directly on it. The acrylics work fine with that. And so what I did is recreate the art on that black, and I am right now recreating the art for the body, and then I'll recreate art for the pick guard. This will be a completely custom piece. So by the time we all is said and done, whoever gets the guitar, and Ubi and I are going to talk about how we're going to handle the giveaway, because we are going to give it away. We don't really need the Groat. And so it's not like, it's not something that Ubi really wants to use. I am fine with sticking with candy. The neck on the Groat is way thicker than my fingers can handle. So we don't want to keep it around, and we'd like to give it to somebody who otherwise maybe couldn't afford a guitar. And give them a nice starter to their set, something that's not just functional but beautiful as well. And so that's our goal. That's the plans for that. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being hanging out here. You are getting the first look at it. Of course, Ubi is the very first person to get a look at it. But you and everyone in the stream are the next people in line to get to look at it. So we will probably be taking a community poll to see if there's somebody in particular that they think should get it. Like nominations for the giveaway. Yes, Ubi will be testing it for us, because part of what we also have to do is make sure that the acrylic isn't going to smear, or the vinyl's not going to, under a lot of play, that the vinyl's going to stay in place, that there's no fret problems nothing that would cause somebody to have problems playing it in any way, and that we solve those problems before we give it away. And yeah, so it's our first collab together, Ubi and I. How sexy is that? Woo! So yeah. It is going to be a 100% original piece of artwork that whoever gets is going to get. That will also be a, hopefully, quite playable instrument. But yeah. That's the plan. And thank you guys so much for being here today. I didn't have as much interaction today. Not your fault. I didn't offer as much interactive stuff today. I guess I'm trying to think of things to offer, and hopefully I'll have more ideas for next stream. Better system for doing it. But for now, this worked well enough. Thanks for hanging with me, Timothy. Know that you are in my prayers, and that I'm really hoping that you get to a place where you're feeling a lot better. Not just because I enjoy having you in my streams, but because, of course, I want you to be as healthy as you possibly can be. I want everybody in our streams to be as healthy as they can be. But yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. We are all set for today. If you let me get Monday set up, because I think I have forgotten to do that. So before I leave the stream, I am going to get myself drawing and chilling part 12 will be coming up on Monday. We're almost finished with the bowl. Let's see, give me just a moment here to get that straightened up, and then I'll post that in chat, and then that we will call a stream. And like I said, hopefully I will see you on Monday. If I do not see you in my stream, I certainly hope to see you in Ubi's stream from 8 to 10. I know, Timothy, you may not be able to, and I totally get that. If we don't see you there, we're going to assume that you're probably being taken care of by healthcare professionals. And so we will definitely be keeping you in our prayers this whole weekend. But yeah. Boop-a-doo. Scheduled for November 10th at 6:30 Central, which doop. Okay, and then let me go back in here, grab the... I really should get more organized about this. I'm terrible. You're a terrible person. You know what? Life is terminal, Timothy, but you know what? My grandmother was given 6 months to live, and she outlived that diagnosis by about 8 years and pissed off my aunt by doing so. So, all life is terminal, Timothy, but doctors can't tell you when the last day is, no matter how much they predict it. They can tell you their estimates based on what they've seen. They can tell you their experiences, but there's always miracles. There's always God, and nobody but God gets to tell you when your last day is. So, that's my opinion. And I'm really grateful. She might have outlived the doctor that gave her the diagnosis. She was definitely late for her own funeral, which was funny because we'd always joked with her. And this is how I'm pretty sure she made it to heaven. There were two things that happened that year shortly after her death. First of all, she was late to her own funeral. We'd always teased her because she was notoriously late for everything. We always teased her that she was going to be late for her own funeral, and she was. She literally was late for her funeral by about 30 minutes because the limousine got caught behind traffic. And well, we want you here to bug us, Timothy, as much as you can. Yes. And then the Cowboys won that Thanksgiving, and she was a huge Dallas Cowboys fan, just a real devotee. And they won that Thanksgiving, so right after she died. So pretty sure that was her way of letting us know, yep, I made it to heaven. I'm okay. I'm here. And she was quite the grandmother. But yeah. So that's me chatting your ear off. And I'm going to call this a stream. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll try to see, hopefully I will see you Monday, and if I don't see you Monday, know that you're in my prayers. Know that that we're with you in whatever you're going through in your life.